E te iwi nau mai, hoki mai ki tēnei pāpahotanga a whakaata Māori. Tēnei māua te tokorua nei, e tuku mihi ana ki a koutou katoa, kua whai wā ki te whakanui e nei rangatahi here at the Bunnings warehouse. National Youth Touch Championship here in Takanini, Bruce Pulman Park. Ko Sean Wilkie tēnei, māua ko Mai Williams. Tēnā koe mai.
Hey brother, how's it going? Good to be here. What a first game. That was a cool game of touch to watch. I probably said too much how excited I was to be back, but that was a great game of touch. But just in the break when we were off there, what I really liked is winning touch games is so secondary to what is really important at this tournament. Just seeing all the parents and grandparents going straight up to the kids as they come off the field, wanting to get their photo on the side of this finals field. It was just amazing to watch, and I didn't get the opportunity to commentate too much with you last year, but a couple of awesome kaupapa that I was involved with tournaments in terms of the Pacific Cup and the Māori Nationals, and just to see that actually touches the vehicle. It's actually not the purpose or the outcome. It's simply the vehicle to be able to achieve so many incredible things and to display so many different kaupapa that are important to us as a people here from Aotearoa. So it was cool to see that again. And again, that just adds to the reason why I'm stoked to be back around this incredible game.
Ai tika tau, Maya. We're very lucky in New Zealand to be blessed with such an amazing opportunity to play touch, no matter the age, no matter where you're from. As we see North Harbour on the screen just popped off there, but a lot of good names to look out for here. The under-16 boys we have on the screen at the moment, as well as the team they're going up against is the Hawke's Bay under-16 boys, coached by Anaru Bartlett and Nui Bartlett. Some incredible names from down in the Hawke's Bay, aren't they?
Yeah, not only touch heroes down in the Hawke's Bay, but in New Zealand. And I must say, just looking at the lads, I seen them over in Fiji, and they look a lot more lively this time than what they did in Fiji, and that was simply because it was just so hot, and it took the fluid right out of them. So yes, fantastic coaches. And just imagine, well, you would know this in terms of the coaches you've had, but when you're a young person and you're playing for a team and you've got a superstar player that has been playing for New Zealand that's so successful, that's probably one of the best that's ever come out of your region, it must just be a buzz for these young kids to be able to be coached by these types of people.
Yeah, you're spot on there. It's a true privilege when you're taking the field at the ripe age of 16, maybe 18. You could be in the 20s. You might be it might be a 16-year-old playing in the open grade. But when you have coaches of this caliber, it only boosts your confidence and it helps their game as a whole, which is only good for our country, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is. We see there Trey McLean, one of the referees. He will be ably assisted by Caitlin Kimpton and Bob Koro. Now, Bob, he was over in Fiji too. He was definitely only sunbathing by the pool though, Bob, but what an awesome young man he is, and great to see him here on the live stream. Harbour though, wasting no time. 4 touches already down on the touch scoreline.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there must have been cartons and cartons of Waimaori taken over to Fiji given the weather over there. I'm sure that was the drink of preference, wasn't it?
Oh, that's all I was involved in anyway, and you can't get a better drop. The Fiji water is pretty good, but the Waimaori was amazing. Hawke's Bay now, their first opportunity with the ball. Great set of defence to start us off with. Look, we've gone from one great game to another. It looks like step off the right into the backfield. Goes Wairiki. Just unfortunately couldn't link up and finish that one.
Yeah, a great taste of what's to come here from this Hawke's Bay team. There's not going to be any fault on effort coming through there as we see a clean set of heels go straight through the middle on their first set of the game.
We both made comment in that last game around the accuracy in terms of the finishing with Kapiti Horowhenua. When they had their opportunities, they took them. All of these teams, 16s and 18s, physically just unbelievably gifted, athletically gifted. And really it is about that finishing though, isn't it? And I think the teams who obviously do that are the ones that come out on top. We've seen that by Kapiti Horowhenua. Hawke's Bay there had an opportunity. Didn't finish. What about Harbour? Great long ball, right to left. Winger almost had to do nothing other than dot it down, didn't he, Sean?
Spot on. Jesse Mataya for North Harbour in the corner there. I'd say that's probably the easiest one of the day, but I'm not going to go far past the point. I don't think that's going to be his last for this game that we see here on the live stream. As we see the middles, we go for a clean middle pick. He bombs it long, a great ball. Maybe with the help of a little bit of wind there to send it directly to him, but there was no stopping that's for sure.
Hawke's Bay here now, straight back down on the scoreline. Cookie play in the middle, steps off his left. Got back onside though, did the North Harbour defender.
Yeah, a clean threat here through the middle. The Hawke's Bay boys looking very threatening. North Harbour matching it just as well on defence. Unfortunately, the North Harbour team were just trying to preempt the touch a little bit and maybe be waiting there to make the touch for the following play.
Well, what are your thoughts as a player like that? The penalty's given in the middle and it was for the winger not moving forward. Is that a new change to the rules that you like, or an interpretation of it, or is it something that you think hasn't really added anything?
I think it's definitely quite critical, especially when you're playing the likes of some of the top wingers in New Zealand, the Reihana Suter Finches, the Finn Barnetts. If they're able to stay back on the line, they're able to make cleaner decisions and quicker decisions. And so as an attacking player, you almost can't get around them either way. So it definitely does help the attacking side. It does disadvantage the defending side, but it has made for a lot cleaner games of touch down on that 7-metre line.
I seen you turn up here earlier with Finn and he gave you $50. I now realise he did. Obviously, $50 per compliment or lie, however you want to put it, but I understand what you're saying. And that makes sense, and it's really good, obviously, from that referee perspective, just understanding that we need that winger to get forward. If we let them off, then obviously it takes away those opportunities. But number 4 here from Harbour, looking to create a zone. Just back through the middle, we see here Oscar. Oh, what pace. There was nothing on there, just a tiny little step, and he was in behind the defence there from Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, and I'd say we'll be looking to see that further as the game progresses. We're getting a little bit later on in the day. I'd say this will probably game 3 for them. They might have game 4 coming up after this, but you could have fooled me that they've been playing already all day, and I know that they've got a long tournament ahead of them, but they're looking that they're in great shape.
Wairiki Hunia, the number 2, just from what we're seeing in these first 4 minutes, he looks like he's the key director in this team, particularly on attack. Oh, they come out this right-hand side, last touch. Just wondering what they're setting up in that space. No, not last touch. They get a penalty here for offside.
Yeah, Noah Robinson, number 6. Great eyes-up play there. He sort of cued the referee a little bit as to what might have needed to be called there as we see him get the crossover back. He's got quite the nous going there for him at the moment. He's got the sleight of hand. I think we might look to see him set one up here and even the score out.
Just see Wanga sitting out the back. Looked like he was going to go do the sweep around to the left-hand side, but that nice little play just comes back through the middle between the dumper and the dummy half.
And we spoke last game, Maya, about a few of the plays we see down in the grassroots level and whether or not it goes to play back into the open level or if it comes from the open level back down. The first play we just saw there, I haven't seen that before. I'm sure that's coming from the grassroots, but that play just there that they've scored off, definitely seen that before, and that just shows exactly why a lot of teams are running it.
And it shows what we talked about earlier, the coaching, right? When you have those 2 legends in the box, on that first touch it was the right-hand link that come around and went through the middle, and then the second time the left. They're just throwing different pitches at the defence, manipulating one way, and once you've got them where you want them, exploiting that. So great work, Hawke's Bay. And if a player of your calibre who plays at the level you do is saying you haven't seen something, then that must have been pretty special there, what they did.
No, it's definitely, I think, a Hawke's Bay special, that one. The Bartlett boys have definitely got a good thing going down there, and it just is a kudos to them, their whānau, and the wider community down in the Hawke's Bay. It's so impressive. You know, years in past, you only see maybe a team in one grade or a couple of teams in this grade, but to see the Hawke's Bay 16 boys coming through really strong is so awesome to see.
We always want to be neutral, but when you know that there's been regions like the Hawke's Bay that for a long time now, over the last couple of years, have been devastated with many natural disasters, you just always want good things to happen for those people from those areas. So Hawke's Bay, I hope they continue the way they're going. This is better here from North Harbour. Oh, got away with one there. I thought that was one of your meaningful touches. That might have caused that drop, but it wasn't. But straight onto it, aren't they, Hawke's Bay?
Yeah, no time wasted. There's definitely some feeling in these touches, and I'd say the Hawke's Bay boys definitely won't shy away. I don't like to be biased. I like to stay neutral, but with all my whānau from the Hawke's Bay, I might be a little bit one-sided here today. as we see a loopy long ball going out to the corner. The winger did extremely well to get that ball to the ground. Unfortunately, the pass just didn't quite get to him in time.
That must be a winger's nightmare, right? You know that it's taken an eternity to get to you, the ball. But yeah, he did a good job. And equally by his opposite on defence, Kemp looks like he's going to wrap around backdoor. Kemp gets the ball from Hunia, takes the space. Oh, must have been forward. I thought he did a great job there of just holding it up so the winger had to make a decision, creating space for his winger.
Gosh, yeah, that is some great skill there from I think he was the far side middle coming round to the link, and he did enough just to draw that winger in, and I think that winger did actually get that ball down. He did very, very well. But the referee jogging on the spot there, definitely able to see the touch made, I think, by both North Harbour defenders. If I know anything about these two coaches, I would say they would go back to these couple of plays later in the half, but they'll be looking at other options.
7 minutes to go in this one. Hunia. No, not Hunia. Second penalty was actually Max Tran, the number 5 from Hawke's Bay. Awards another penalty. That's 2. One more, and then North Harbour will be required to send someone to the sideline.
Unlucky there from Hawke's Bay, just not able to capitalise on the opportunity of 2 recount plays. North Harbour just surviving.
How good have North Harbour's defence been? It's 1-1, and in the last 6 sets, Hawke's Bay have had 4 of them down on their line. They've repelled them each and every time. They've done a great job defensively, and the thing I like about them, they're working for each other and together, are the North Harbour team. So if they can get things right down this end, as we see, just unfortunately again. As a referee, I always wondered why those passes got thrown. What, is it you're just so in the moment, you know you need to get the ball to that person, Sean?
Yeah, I think it comes down firstly to timing, and secondly you just think, yep, you know, he's coming so fast, so hot down this channel that you just need to get the ball away, and you hope that maybe he'll get the upper hand there. Unfortunately, sometimes no, we don't think that maybe that's probably going to be 2 or 3 metres forward. As we see that play I spoke about again. Just drawing the penalty, that's 1. 1 more, and as we spoke about earlier, we might see 1 go to the sideline, which becomes a great opportunity here for Hawke's Bay to maybe take the lead late in the first half.
Yep, they're using a bit of gas up, aren't they? North Harbour just making things hard, giving away penalties. But I actually think it's coming from them just working really hard there. This Hawke's Bay attack is lethal, and it's broken them down a couple of times, but North Harbour have managed to be able to scramble back. And unfortunately, sometimes that means they're offside. This time they do go outside, creating numbers. Great chase down there from the link. I thought he was going for all money there, Sean.
Yeah, as you say, Maya, the North Harbour boys are doing extremely well at not rushing too far off the line, which means that they're able to retreat quite effectively. There again, a great touch from the link. He's able to make sure that the touch is imminent before he's dropping. Yes, they are getting penalised every now and then, but we can just see that it almost seems like all 6 of their players are onside before their strike player gets close to the try line.
Better here from North Harbour. Seeing a couple of those touches. They had to be strong in the roll ball. Another one there. They want to set up on this one. It'll be a big scoop off the end. Unfortunately, with that adjustment, well, it's not the 5th touch. I don't know if they get a Koha one, but I could be counting wrong. They now go on this right-hand side. Oh, I thought there might have been a little bit of circle in there. Just pop it out the back to the person, the dummy half coming on that back door. Good work, Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, I think that might have been the intention there from the North Harbour boys, but he might have just got a bit of glue in his hands and decided to go by himself. See, the yards are slowing up a little bit, but I like to think that most teams do sacrifice a little bit of speed for accuracy, especially this late in the half when you're just trying to catch your breath when you're coming off the field after a big set of defence against a firing North Harbour team. Number 10 there from North Harbour, Oscar Gerard. He's done very well to get back on side. Almost made it look a little bit effortless.
It's almost been 2 different games within this half. North Harbour doing a lot of defence, which I guess obviously then means there's another one of those meaningful touches that North Harbour have been doing a lot. Hawke's Bay have been doing a lot of the attack.
It can definitely come to wear them down as well, especially late in the second half when it's been a lot of attack coming down your way, and they've been very proud on their line. They haven't let in. They've let in one try, and the scoreline is a result of how good North Harbour's defence has been. But the last thing we want is for the fatigue to start setting in because of the huge number of defensive sets they've had to put out there. Again, a great defensive stop from North Harbour. The link lifting up, identifying the skip ball. It's quite easy as a link, knowing from experience, just to sit out there and watch your middles do all the hard yakka. I can definitely tell you, I've been told off a few times. I won't tell you who by, I'm sure you can guess, but there's a few middles out there that make sure I do my job. That link there from North Harbour lifting really well to make a really, really crucial stop. Unfortunately, an error again coming out, and they'll be forced to defend their line.
I think Hawke's Bay needs to score a touchdown in terms of for their own emotional state. They've had so much ball and not really much reward. Yes, this defence North Harbour are having to do will take a lot of gas out of the tank, but for the amount of ball they've had in really good field position, yeah, nice call there, Bob, the ref. That was a great call. We'll see this in the replay. The number 12 there from North Harbour makes the touch before this one, doesn't get anywhere close to being back on side, and the correct play for any referee is to play through, allow the greatest advantage to the non-defending team, which in this case is a touchdown for Hawke's Bay, 2-1.
Yeah, spot on, Maya, and that's definitely an explanation I'd like to be told a few times when I've got the ball in my hands. But no, as you say, very well officiated, and equally just as good a setup from the Hawke's Bay there. They knew that they had probably an advantage out on the link there, and they were able to turn it into another pedal, and it takes it out to 2-1.
Yeah, unfortunately, another forward pass. Sometimes I think great tries are wrecked by penalties for forward pass. I'm not sure that penalty's worth it. Anyway, Hawke's Bay with a minute to go. They've taken the lead 2-1. Again, we spoke last game around the accuracy of that Kapiti Horowhenua team. I just wonder, with this Hawke's Bay team and the amount of opportunities they have without scoring, whether that could come back to bite them in the second half. And not only that, even though North Harbour have been on defence a lot, you can take a lot of confidence out of that, can't you? When you can repel a fantastic attacking side like Hawke's Bay, I'm sure that North Harbour team will be really pumped going into this first half that they're able to do that.
For sure. I know definitely from experience. Oh, a great touch there from the number 5 from North Harbour. Speaking from experience, I know that coming off the back of a great defensive set, when your boys are out there or your wahine are out there, absolutely becoming exhausted and tired, and they are just defending the line like there's no tomorrow, it just gives you that extra bit of energy when you do come back on the field to reward them for what they've done to make a defensive stop. And it is something that in the past has gone unnoticed, but today it has definitely been North Harbour's strength.
Yeah, I think both coaches will be relatively positive with their team's performances so far in this first half, but they were just wanting a little bit more accuracy. Do we in the... No, it is a touch. Ko mutu te wahanga tuatahi o tēnei kemu. Hoki mai a kua nei.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
Nau mai, hoki mai e te iwi ki tēnei kēmu o ngā tāne, o ngā tama, ngā rangatahi. Under 16 boys, Hawke's Bay versus North Harbour, 2-1 the score. Now, kei te perangi au ki te hoki mai ki tērā kōrero o te pāwhutu paoro, e harai te aha kina noiho, he waka mo te hāpore, mo ngā rangatahi, mo ngā whānau, mo te iwi katoa. Touch isn't just the sport itself, as you spoke about at the start of the game. It's the waka, it's what brings everybody together, the whānau, the friends, the community, the past, the present, the future, and this tournament down here in Takanini is a perfect example of what we have and what we're so fortunate to have here in Aotearoa and Pāwhutu Paoro.
Absolutely, like you said, there's just the greatest things about the sport is not just the sport itself, but the icing on the cake is the sport also. What a beautiful game, you play it at the highest level and have done for a long time. But a game where the whole whānau can be on the same team, on the same field at the same time, that just talks about the exact point that you were making, how much of a beautiful game this is because of what this game allows our people to achieve and demonstrate.
Yeah, been very fortunate to attend the World Cup. I saw you there, unfortunately in different colours, but hey aha, kei te pai. I was very blessed to see all the different cultures, the countries and everything that was brought together by the Touch World Cup, and just how fortunate we are here in New Zealand to have the local beaches, the local parks to go around and throw around the Pāwhutu Paoro, and it shows as a reflection in the calibre of touch that we have here in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's a good point you make in terms of the opportunities that these rangatahi and yourself and everyone who plays touch in this country has, that we have so many places and spaces, forward pass it looks like, the referee on the sideline going to give, to be able to play this incredible game. And again with this game, you don't need white lines and cones and flags, just a ball and some grass and sometimes a netball court and sometimes the side of your road, particularly when you're being bad and your parents say go play on the road. But yeah, that is the beauty of this game.
Absolutely, and as you see at the bottom of our screen there, we have a QR code for you to scan to go through onto the website and nominate your home ground heroes. The recipients, 5 of them, receive $5,000 to go back into your community, for touch that is, not just into your community and not into your whānau, but the bigger whānau, the bigger hapori, and that's the touch hapori.
North Harbour here, first opportunity to attack. I'd love to have been in that huddle. Oh, great to see them get inside. Holds on to the ball. Good work there, Hawke's Bay. Yeah, I'd love to have been in both huddles there at halftime, Sean. And I just wonder, what do you think the coaches of that North Harbour team would have been saying with regards to how great their defence was, but unfortunately just not having many opportunities on attack?
Well, I think, as you say, the highlight there would have been to have to commend the effort on defence. They just were almost perfect. Unfortunately, yes, 2 tries slipped through. However, they probably defended at least 25 in that first half. So I think they'll be giving them a little bit of freedom on the back end of the attack, but there will be nothing to fix the defence here. I think it was absolutely perfect.
Well, we'll get the opportunity now here to see it. Hawke's Bay looked like they had something set up nicely there. Just again, didn't finish. Just bringing things back to the centre, slowing things down. Actually like to see it from North Harbour. Generally you want to get that defence on the back foot, but you have to have everyone on the same page. A little bit of ad-lib touch, it looks like, just trying to create numbers on this left-hand side. Touchdown, first one for the second half by North Harbour. We talked about it, Sean. They defended so well and they've given themselves the opportunity to be able to tie this one up here. 2-2, North Harbour, Hawke's Bay.
And as we see here in the replay, I was just about to say, he's broken the line. It might be a good opportunity to drive, to dump the ball and give a dummy half off the back a good opportunity to scoop into the end goal. No, that was not the case, nor was it needed. They went through their hands. They found the winger in the corner. What an acrobatic finish to score.
2-2, not much touchdowns, but a lot of life in this one.
No, there's not much separating the two teams either, and it's just good to see the pace is slowing down a little bit. Everyone's sort of trying to just find their feet again in the second half. Hopefully that stamps out the errors, and then eventually we'll see the game pick up, I'm sure, closer to the end of this game.
Absolutely, no errors so far. We've seen it. Great flowing game. Just a little bit of a late cut now here. Looks to create something, not really much on. Potentially the last touch. Yeah, definitely is. Good work again, North Harbour. Just again, the confidence they must have. Oh, and there we see it. Just a mistake. Just that little bit of concentration, isn't it? A lapse of concentration there.
Yeah, sometimes the big moments can sort of creep in there and it becomes evident. You know, I completely understand it can creep into your game on the finals field. There's a few cameras around watching you, but unfortunately they're just a mistake, which gives Hawke's Bay an opportunity. Referee points at the spot. He piroa no ki te tima no Hawke's Bay.
3-2 Hawke's Bay. Was that Kemp? Was either Kemp or Hooney? I think it might have been. Just trying to catch that number. In fact, it was neither of them. It was the number 9 from the Hawke's Bay. RDJ Smith. Just casual. Just a humble throwback. And you know what? He gets to do a little bit of defense for that touchdown.
Yeah, that's the Hawke's Bay style that they're playing with there. Not too serious, but just enough to be able to get across the line there. And as you say, with the back flick, I think that might be something that a few of them have rehearsed a few times at training, maybe going in a scrimmage against each other. Well defended there by the Hawke's Bay team. North Harbour got another strike here to finish their line tap.
They seem to be a little bit more intent with their attack, don't they? You talked about freedom, but what I've liked in their last freedom, we don't get more free than just throwing the ball behind your shoulder. Just in terms of the setup anyway, that they've actually slowed things down, made sure everyone knew what they're doing, then went into it. They were successful with that first touchdown they scored, and that time not so. But I like the fact they come out more intent around what it is they're going to do rather than just playing that eyes-up footy, I guess you can say.
Yeah, so takeaway from the halftime would be the fact that both teams have come out. It looks like a little bit more freedom, as we saw with that alley-oop thrown in the air there. But it just looks as though they are opening up the playbook a little bit. They're not too shy to spread the game apart a little bit. And that's only going to be helpful moving forward, because if they're able to sort of execute some of those plays that they would normally keep in the back pocket for day 3, if they can use them here, yes, other teams might get the opportunity to watch these games back and see their strengths. But at the end of the day, those 6 players still have to jump out on the field and try to defend it.
100%. Harbour, I have this one to set up. Now what can they produce on this? Again, they've created this numbers down this left-hand side. Bit of a foot race. Does he get through? Now that's a great touchdown there. Good recovery from the link for Hawke's Bay. The man here who's just about to roll the ball. That was a huge effort there. He had a lot of ground to make up. Oh, that looked a tad straight.
One thing I quite liked there in that set from North Harbour is we see our big tall timid out on the close wing side here for number 14 for North Harbour, Quinton Chapman. He scored a great aerial finish in the left-hand corner. He's now done extra yards in defence in this right wing, but in that previous play he was attacking in the middle and almost set up a try. He seems like quite the hybrid player.
And that's why he's in the under-16s, because they've got more energy than 3 adults put together. And they're the players you want on the team as a coach. They're the players you want on your team as a player, aren't they? Those ones who are going to absolutely empty the tank and do everything they can. I like this here. Oh, I wonder if some refs look for those forward passes sometimes.
Yeah, I know from experience, and I'm sure you would have had these conversations before as well. Leading into a national tournament, we tend to get quite clued up with what refs are looking for. Now, this tournament might be the forward passes, I'm not too sure, but in the past we've been told they're going to stamp out the no touches through the yardage, they're going to stamp out the 7-metre defensive faults and all those sorts of things. But yeah, unfortunately we've just seen a few too many forward passes. Definitely comes down to the timing, but also we just need to try sway those referees a little bit more and get them on our side.
Nice touch there, North Harbour. You're absolutely right. It's not like, I remember there'd be a lot of coaches or players are, what are you guys focusing on this tournament? And there wasn't actually ever a focus. In all honesty, I think what tended to happen is there'd be feedback from the prior tournament that a lot of these things were getting missed. So then our referee coaches would bring it into the next tournament and say, hey, look, a lot of these were missed. Let's make sure we're going back to our process, so our 101s, and that we are doing what we need to and watching what we need to. And then so suddenly, because that's in the front of mind for all the referees, a lot more of those get called. So, yeah, whether it was a benefit or not, I'm not sure. but that was tended to be the case.
Yeah, and as you talk about the referee coaches there, we're very lucky here in New Zealand. We've got a very high calibre of referees. You only have to go to the Trans-Tasman Series or even the World Cup to see how many of our referees are representing on the national, international level. And these referee coaches are doing an amazing job from tournament to tournament to give those referees that feedback to enable the players to have such free-flowing games as we get to see here today. Oh, I think he might have scored that in the corner there. What's the referee's decision?
No, penalty. Looks like it's for a forward pass. Definitely total call that kōrero, Sean. I think outside of the team's managers, that the referee coaches have the hardest job in the world. Braving the conditions for 15 rounds. They're normally here at about 5:45 and they probably leave about 6:15 in the afternoon. They doing a tremendous amount of work, and really these tournaments are the only opportunity that some of our referees around them will to get the chance to be coached by the people at these levels. So massive shout out to our referee coaches and the job they do and the impact their job has on our sport.
And speaking to that, Maya, when the coaching staff for the referees are sitting on the sideline, I do catch them out the side of my eye, the corner of my eye, and I do notice that when there is a little bit of kōrero kino coming from some of the players, they do get the stern eye. There's no words said, but they know exactly what that stern eye means coming from the referee coaches. So it's good to have their presence there for the players as well.
Hawke's Bay now, what have they got going? Just turns and throws. Thought there might have been a hand in that passing lane, but again, what am I going to say? Good defence, North Harbour.
Definitely, and I think it's starting to take a little bit of a toll here as the camera will pan slightly further up the field. There's a few people down in the box, sitting down, maybe a little bit of fatigue starting to kick in.
Just seen a few heads drop there with another mistake. Fortunately, not only do we not want to make mistakes, but not on our defensive 7 metre line. Good recovery there. We've seen the fleet-footed Noah Robinson.
Yeah, matched well from Caesar Chang there, number 13 from North Harbour. We saw him with a clean scoop into the in goal. Unfortunately, the remaining 6 on the field not able to. Yes, able to just do enough, forcing a mistake there. But Caesar Chang has been an integral part of this North Harbour side. He's kept them in it with some great defensive stops, some great attacking. So I'm sure they'll want to get him off the field, rest his legs, and hopefully bring him back on for the next attack set.
Great support refereeing there from referee Koro. Picking up that forward pass. That's what used to make the coaches rage. Would pick a million forward passes up in the middle of the field and miss ones on the 5 metre line, which is now the 7 metre line. So good to see that one was picked up. This half is flying past. 3 minutes, 40 to go. 3-2, Hawke's Bay over North Harbour. 1-1 in this half.
There'd be no doubt that there's a lot of pumped out chests here in the Hawke's Bay sub box. I know being a team like Hawke's Bay, where they aren't normally up in that top 4 bracket, coming up against a side like North Harbour and sort of having the upper hand thus far would definitely be enough to get the tails up. As we see here, coming hot on attack, there's that hybrid man again out on the wing there, number 14, Quinton Chapman. How do you get around him?
I tell you what, if there was one person you would want to pass over, it would be him, wouldn't he? Great work there from Quinton. To that comment in terms of not being in the top 4 that often, Hawke's Bay, with, I guess, that attack that they have shown us, I'd be surprised if they wouldn't be in the top 4 this year.
Most definitely. I think the way that they've played here today with the coaching panel that they have, it would be very surprising if they weren't able to go push for that top 4 spot, if not to go to that final on Sunday. They've got some great structure, unfortunately another error there, but that doesn't go without saying how incredible they have been today. And again, I don't want to take away from the players too much, but the coaching looks to be probably a key to their success.
North Harbour now have a chance with time running down to hit back to even up scores. Fresh legs on, centering play. Again, we'll go back to Xavier Hughes. Oh, look at him using his speed, just getting deep into the attacking line. Again there, Sean, that probably would be in a perfect time to initiate that dump.
Yes, unfortunately, sometimes we see the defensive team are able to sort of suck back to the line a little bit more than what we're hoping for as an attacking play. And sometimes you just yes, there's the 7 metre line. If you creep inside 3-4 metres, sometimes it is beneficial to just go and grab them and keep the upper hand. I recognise those pink socks coming on again. Number 6 there, Noah Robinson. He's had a hand to play in everything, but they have a follow play 10 metres out. Oh, it's well executed. Down the short side. Oh, stop it.
Oh, it is a touchdown. You can tell by the massive kick from the winger all the way back to halfway. How often do we hear commentators talking about the tries on the NRL and the Super Rugby? Or I'll tell you what, those players get it from here. This is where they learn it. Again, if he tried to run that over, it's a guaranteed try, isn't it? But he gets his whole body was out when he put that ball down, out of the field of play. But the ball wasn't. Touchdown, 4-2, Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, no doubt. There was definitely a well-deserved try out there. I saw the follow play from 15 metres out and thought this is normally something you run on the 7 metre line. And North Harbour bounced back with 38 seconds to go. They need something seriously here. Oh, but I think the players have seen something else. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I've seen referee Kimpton look up to the sideline. It was almost like she was unsure. I tell you what, there's no way of getting around this one issue, and that is the time, right? The clock never stops in a game of touch, because if you were here, you would be absolutely amazed at the size of this event. Maybe 17 fields going here at Pullman Park, one of the most incredible parks we get to play touch at. But time can't stop because it needs to go on all the others. And these teams having 4 games, I think there's about 12 rounds a day. So you just said North Harbour hit back 4-3, could have had a chance, but unfortunately they didn't.
No doubt, and I don't think I'm the only one that has to thank my boss for giving me the day off and getting a 4-day weekend. Hui anō e te iwi kua mutu te kemu tuarima i tēnei rā te rā tuatahi o ngā whakataitai o ngā rangatahi o Aotearoa. Hoki mai a koe nei. Kia ora.